We're still here with our guest. Yetunde is still here. She's not gone anywhere because she still has a lot to tell us on this book that she's put out there. But my next question is this. Who are more vulnerable? Boys or girls?
The girls.
Males or females?
The females.
You're not being feminist here, are you?
No.
Yetunde, are you sure it is the female that is more vulnerable?
The females are more vulnerable. One, because of our society. Our society is a polygamous society. So, and then also it's a male-dominated society.
But that's not just a Nigerian. That's not a Nigerian phenomenon. That's a worldwide
phenomenon. It's not. But we have other challenges, that's cultural and social and traditional challenges too. If you now lump that together, you'll find out that the female is more vulnerable than the woman when it comes to sexual matters. They are the ones that have they have to bear the
physical brunt
of everything. If a man goes out and picks something, he brings it back to the woman, and for as long as he has 2, 3, 4 women, he keeps spreading it to all of them. And though that's not to say that the women are pure, women are clean. We read it all every day in the papers. Everybody knows what's happening in the society, and then it's even in the odd places that you find these things going on.
Yeah.
Yes, the women too. Women do to check out from time to time.
Yes.
For reasons, married women, for reasons best known to them. They check out from time to time. So, which brings us back to what we were discussing before we went off.
Break,
that fidelity. A man and a woman who are true to each other. That's what God said. And then when we put in religion or morality, we say who are married.
Hello. Good morning.
My name is Aboki.
Aboki, you're welcome. Good morning. Oh, we lost him. Okay, so.
Okay.
So after fidelity, what other things are we going to be looking at now to make sure that we can put some fences, to keep everybody.
Okay. So after fidelity, now, if you know that you cannot be faithful to your partner, we've always discussed all the magical condom.
Okay.
The magical.
Yes.
I call it the magical condom. Condom is said to be able to
take care of everything.
Yeah. Of course, we know
that you cannot do that. But yes.
But it will take care of
at least the basics.
The basics. It will take care of the greater part of what we're trying to avoid, especially the HIV, which is the biggest challenge so far. For now, in
the
environment, at least in the sexual environment. So you need to be able to protect yourself, and then in protecting yourself, you need to know what's best for you.
But is HIV really as highly prevalent as STDs? I thought STDs would have been more of a big issue, especially for young people.
For young people.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Please, can you lower the volume of your TV set so she can hear you and therefore react to your comment? It's a pity. Well, we'd like to appeal to our viewers, please, when you're calling in, as soon as your line gets through to NTA, please just lower the volume of your TV set so our guests, will be able to respond to your questions or your comment or whatever you have to say. Thank you. And if your voice call is not coming through, please drop us an SMS and we'll be able to read out your questions or your comments to her. Okay, all right. So I said, shouldn't we be bothered about STDs rather than going to the high end of it, which is HIV/AIDS?
Unfortunately, in our own environment, I won't say there's a high or there's a low. There is no high, there's no low, because we have a very high level of cross-generational sexual activity. You have a man as old as 70-something
going to bed with a girl of 24, 25.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Oh, we lost the call again. We apologize for the drop calls. Just go on.
You have children being molested by old men. So there's no high to this thing. There's no high. Way back, there was a story that I
dealt with.
Yes, dealt with. I still remember the young girl's name. She was 7 years or 8 years, and her name was Lara. Back in Ajegunle area, this guy sells water. His mother sells water as a
trade
in water. So when these children come, the parents send them to go and buy water, 5 naira, 10 naira. He does not collect money from them. Those ones that he wants to sleep with, he would not collect money from them. He lures them, and he has sexual.
Ordinary 5 naira worth of water.
Yes, you know, of course, these young children, they're going to use it to buy sweets, biscuits, and.
And how old was this child?
And this girl was 8 years, I think.
And the fellow that was.
And the guy that was sleeping with her until he was caught was about 24 years. If 24-year-old boy was sleeping with the young girl of about 8 years. And when the bubble burst and then everything, and they actually carried out the test for them, the guy was positive. The guy was positive. The young girl was positive.
HIV positive?
Yes.
Oh, no.
So there is no age. There is no high or low, as you said, to this thing, because a hungry child would always is the man that has the money.
Yes, we're vulnerable to your deep pockets. We'll talk about deep pockets. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I think we have to get a way to get our private telephone operators to come and sit down here, and let's see how we can resolve this issue. Okay, all right, now, but let's bring it to what's even, a customary thing in some part of the country. Because this is already a very agonizing issue that you have just mentioned here now. So when we're talking about child marriage, how does that, is that part of the things you talked about here?
Yes, somehow. We talked about, in this book, there's a chapter, I think it's chapter 7 or so, about teenage pregnancy.
Yes.
No, I think it's chapter 8, talks about teenage pregnancies. And there, the challenges of young girls getting pregnant. Of course, the VVF challenge is there. The economic challenge is there. The psychological and mental health of the young girl. Although teenage pregnancy, you can split it into two. Those getting pregnant between before age
13, 14?
16 years, age 16.
Hello?
And those...
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, and you're welcome. Who's calling, please? Yeah, who's calling, and where are you calling from?
I'm from Lagos.
Okay, your question or your comment quickly?
Who are you?
No, your question or your comment. You like to ask a question? Oh, boy. I think we are having crossed lines, really. Okay, all right, so go ahead. So we have getting married, getting pregnant before the age of 6. Okay, we have another call. Hello?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome, sir. Your name, sir, and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Wasiu, calling from Ekwe.
Okay, Wasiu from Ekwe. Great. So you want to ask her a question?
We lost it.
We like to apologize to our viewers, particularly Wasiu who just called now. But please just keep trying. If the voice calls are not going through, please drop us an SMS message on the lines that you have on the screen. Then we can read out your questions or your comments so that Yetunde can deal with that. Okay, let's go on now. So getting pregnant before the age of 16 and all that, and then they were much earlier. So what exactly are we looking at here?
For those who do it, much earlier than 16, 15, the challenges are part of those where that
VVF and all that.
Yes, it's more gruesome than
more gruesome.
It is a very gruesome experience if you have somebody going into labor and it's not physically they're not physically mature
Ready,
enough
yes.
to do that, and then for days and days they have to, especially
Hello?
in the rural areas, because most of these things
One
happen.
second. Hello? 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 Are you still there?
Oh boy.
Okay, most of this is in the rural, yes, okay?
Yes, most of these things are in the rural area. It's not only rich men who can, like our senators,
yes.
who can afford to take them to the hospitals and, you know, give them proper medical care. The malams out there who are, and it's not really restricted to just the north. We have it also in Ebonyi, in the east.
Yes.
All these things go on there. I'm not very sure of what goes on in the southwest.
So you're
with
saying
regards
that
to
this is pervasive.
It is. It's all around us. It's not just in the north. It's just that it's more predominant there,
Yes.
and the society there is more receptive to it. To it. But it's not as if it's not happening
Around us
here too. So when they get pregnant at, you know,
Tender
age, it's, the experience can be very gruesome, leading to death also. And where they succeed, a neighbor of mine somewhere, because I deal with these issues all the time. A friend of mine has a neighbor who is now 19, twice married, with 4 children.
19.
I'm back, yes, twice married, with
4 children.
With 4 children, and the girl is back to her parents' house.
With 4 children.
There in Bagada there.
At 19 with 4 children.
At 19, and she's a widow now because the second one died. The second husband died. So she has 4 children. She's 19.
And she herself, she's a dependent.
Yes, and she's now back. Of course, she's going to roam the streets to feed her children, because her father, who is the engineer behind her 2 marriages, is also dead. So she's now back in her.
Okay, so this seems to be such a hydra-headed problem. You know, you have the young people, the young persons having issues to deal with. Then you have also a parental negligence at some point. Then you have societies, you know, maybe insensitivity to all this. So how do we begin to correct? You know, because we must find a way to end this so that people can begin to see correctly or rightly. So how do we do that?
I always keep coming back to the home, because that's the first contact of the child with the society.
Outside world.
Yes. So I keep coming back to the home. Then the next step would be the schools. And fortunately, I was reading in the paper about last week or so that I can't remember which part of the states, but maybe Kogi or somewhere, there already the teachers being trained to teach in primary schools are already taking courses in. They're not calling it sexual education. They're calling it family life and something. So it's not as see if we're just sitting back. I think some people
are doing
somewhere are now aware of what is going on, and they're introducing things like that. So that I can't remember what
states?
Actually the state and the actual name for.
But at least sex is not part of it.
Now they're calling it family life and something, and then they're incorporating all this, the HIV, and everything is being into the curricula for that particular course, so that those teachers, when after finishing their training, they can now go back and teach the children. So I don't know what the curricula would be or what they're going to be teaching, but then we have taken one step
in the right direction.
The
other question would be that the media itself in Nigeria, I want to be particular about Nigeria. I don't want to be trusted in what is happening outside of Nigeria. But I think the media also seem to have shirked responsibility when it comes to this.
Yes. Yes. As I told you, I think we were talking about what we read in the papers.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes, and the kind of things that, yes.
Orgasm, this, that, they're promoting sexual immorality, promoting sexual activities without actually teaching people that this thing
carry some costs.
Yes, there's a price to everything. So, and if one is unfortunate to be a victim of any of these illnesses or diseases and is not properly treated, there are some that you cannot treat. If you have the herpes, you just go through it
for life.
Yes, for life, until your body maybe decides to
give up.
It's able to. No, because it has to do with the
Hello, 1 second. Hello.
Hello. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Quickly, your question and your comment, sir.
Martin from Yaba.
Okay, go ahead. Your question and your comment.
Yes. I think that the major problem we have in the society is the failure of the family.
Okay.
The family has failed. The school system has failed. Like, educational system has always been implemented that talking to me about anything to join it. In my family and any other family in the country, I think the same thing. They don't talk about it. They grow up and few other children do something and they try to imitate them, and the family society collapses. Child marriage, prostitution, and everything becomes an economic problem. So the family and school system have shown they have to do a change of attitude in their development and the society and the family as well.
Dangers that will come from sexual activity should be a fundamental human right of the child. Should you think that should be written as a constitutional guarantee?
It's already written in the child's rights law that the child must not be denied information that would help it to grow up into a useful individual or citizen of the. It's already there. It must not be prevented from information that would how do I
give the child a wholesome development?
Yes, a wholesome development, and then sexual education is part of it.
No, but the child cannot question parental control. For instance, if your 14-year-old daughter, okay, let's look at this.
You can control what your child is doing. You can control.
No, but your child cannot control.
Information is not information that is useful to your child is different from information that's not useful to it. As a parent, that's your responsibility to monitor what your child is doing. A father and a mother that are away from home will not know what their child is doing on the internet. And that also, it's also something that we're looking. We have in Vanguard newspapers, we have an annual children's conference that we organize every year. It's we do it in June, and this is a tip of what's going to happen in 2014. That's what we're going to be focusing on. Yes, the children's abuse of the internet. How can parents control what their children are doing on their phones, on the internet, the kind of people that they are meeting? Is it possible for the service providers to provide
some kind of security checks?
Some checks for
gates
for children or younger people who are using their services? How can parents control what their children are doing on their phones, on their internet, or on the internet, on all these devices? Because a lot of the information they get will
come from there.
From that place.
Okay, we have the Chimamanda Adichie here on this show, and that one of the things we seem to be worried about that we discussed was the fact that we don't have children reading anymore. We only have screen gazers. People don't read books. They don't. So this now that you've written, I mean, I don't know. Are you optimistic that some young persons will be able to get this to read if they will have the time?
I'm very optimistic that if you pick this book, you will not, even as an adult, you will not want to drop it before
you're done with it.
You're done with it, because it's not. We're not only telling you this is sex education is about this, it's about this, it's about this. We're sharing experiences
of other people.
Of other people, and that you can relate with. We have the story of a young girl who went to visit her friend at home. Now, on getting there, she did not meet
the friend,
and met her 2 brothers also in the house, and their parents were not around. This girl was raped.
Oh no!
Just because she went to visit a friend. Her friend invited her over, did not tell her that she was not going to be around home again, and then
the brothers took advantage of the girl.
Yes, took her to the back of the house, their own apartment, and a lot of parents don't even know what goes on in their boys' quarters. Okay,
let's have this. This is from Adeoye Wale. Sorry, you tried to call, but you couldn't get through. So, Madam, honestly, can you allow your daughter to marry at 15, religion or not? That's a direct question.
I'm not into that. I'm not into that school of thought. That is wickedness. To me, that is pure wickedness.
Sheer wickedness.
There's no way a 15-year-old is not. Marriage is not just about sex. It's not being. It's much more than that. And if you ask an adult woman what goes into being married, that you know it's no business for a 15-year-old. Yes.
All right. That's about where we're going to close it today. It's a pity we just have to round up now here today because my producer is saying we don't have any more time. We have another program coming up. So it's a pleasure having you on this program. I would thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you.
We would like to say to everybody, Youth, Sex and Well-Being. The book is out there somewhere. You go and get a copy and read up on exactly the negative face of how, well, your sexual experiences. So, Yetunde, thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
We do hope that one of these days again, we're going to have you back here.
I will definitely respond.
Thank you very much.